What did he say?
Oh, he said he's a GD. He said he's a gang disciple. Verbatim. I am quoting Aaron Carter.
First of all, let's be really clear on that. First, let's be extraordinarily clear about that. Aaron is not a GD. Aaron is a dear friend of mine. But that being said, listen, you're not a GD, period. It's obvious. He's very aware of what he's doing when he does stuff.
No, you don't know what set I claim.
You're right, I don't.
So,
are you affiliated? I've always avoided that myself.
I'm affiliated with lots of people.
I've been trying to get a hold of you guys and let you know what's been going on. There's been gang members stalking my house. They've been around. I've been chasing them down, trying to get their license plates. I was on Instagram last night. I had my phone on my dock, on my car while I was driving. I woke her up because there was like gang members throwing GD signs. You know, gang disciples, GD disciples, or whatever they are.
Yeah, I think I've heard of them.
Okay. Well, they're the ones that are saying they're coming to get me.
Oh,
like,
sorry.
I have a persona. I can be whoever I want. I can put whatever I want on my face. Yeah. I can pierce my face. I can do whatever I want. I have every right to do those things. I mean, I'm from Miami. I'm not from Miami, but I'm from Monroe County, which is in the Florida Keys. I don't go to Florida anymore. No? No, are you kidding me? With all the drugs? The drugs? I grew up in Tampa, and then we moved out to California, and then I went to the Florida Keys.
How long were you there for?
Not very long. We moved around a lot. So every 3 or 4 years we moved.
Oh, okay.
I'm not an actor. I'm a singer.
I got Lamar Odom saying I'm a Beverly Hills Street Fighter. Shut the fuck up. I'm from fucking Dade County. GD's heavy in Philly. Yeah, I already know, man. What's up, my boys? What's up, my gang disciples? He's in the gang again? No, I was never a part of the Rolling Crips. I was never part of the Rolling 40s. Gang disciple. It's different. I'm not in no gang. I got y'all heads spinning around like a fucking chicken, don't I? The rubber knife gang. Yeah. I'm in a real motherfucking gang and I'm a real gangster. Alright? Period. End of story. I'm really about that. I'm really about that life. I'm Mr. Steal Your Chain. That means when you come into my city, Los Angeles, you check in with me. And if you don't check in with me, why do you think I got this fucking chain?
Tyler, before we get started, how would you like the audience to reference you? You have a lot of AKAs, stage names.
Yeah, most people know me as Louie. As a songwriter, primarily. And then as an artist, I go by Girls. I go by YTB Girls. Basically, people just call me Louie.
My audience would probably know you from your work, recent best albums, from Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
You guys met in 2015?
About 2000, it probably been like 2014, just kind of connecting like really randomly through a mutual friend who had just heard that I had done songwriting. I was an artist. I never tried to be a songwriter.
You were an artist that just fell into it. Good ass writer.
Man, yeah. And I think that's a lot of songwriters. That makes you a better artist, and that makes you an artist. It kind of demands like a whole nother level of writing. Yeah.
Cool shit. All right. So seen you on an Instagram live with them. And I was like, this dude seems real genuine. Because, you know, when you're watching certain celebrities talk to people, you can tell it's fake. I played one of your songs. I was like, oh, this shit is good. Let me go look them up. I'm doing my digging. And I came up across your Twitter. I think it might have been like an old Twitter or something. You know, of course.
Real?
You said nigga. What is this guy's like race or ethnicity?
Yeah, I be saying nigga. Like, just to be straight up, I be saying nigga. My dad black, my mom white. So I'm a nigga. Like, my dad's was from Jamaica. My mom, a white woman. I was adopted. It's interesting. You're the first person who's ever asked me about it. You know what I mean? Because people don't ask me. Like, I guess maybe it's just your natural environment. I mean, most of the people I hang out with, you know, I think I told you last time, I'm Africa. You know what I mean? And moved here because we got a big African population in Minneapolis. You know, in Africa, they don't be saying nigga like we do.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
You know what I mean? So it's just not really a popular word and shit. So I mean, I'm, you know, brownish. You know, I'm brown. If you're not like white, you're a nigga. You know what I mean? I think, you know, growing up mixed, you know, I went through phases when I was younger. You know, you kind of feel this pressure, like you got to pick a side, kind of. You know, everybody has little phases they probably got bullied on or some type of shit, you know? And when I was in 6th grade, I didn't really have any friends really yet. You know what I mean? I was, you know, you moved to middle school, it's a new school, all this stuff. And didn't really know where I fit in. And I would notice like the white kids would call me like nigger, and the black kids would like fuck with me too. I didn't belong with them neither. You know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't
Girl
belong
sweatshirt,
nowhere.
too black for the white kids, but too white for the black.
Right.
I was the same way.
And so it was like confusing for me. And it was like, and it wasn't until, you know, I grew up around the way. So, you know, for anybody who's familiar with Minneapolis, right now in the world, everybody knows what Minneapolis is, but
and not for the right reasons.
A year ago, they would have said, what the, you know, we have sections. So it's like the north side, the south side, you know what I mean? And within that is very divided. And then we have St. Paul, which is another major city. It's two cities connected, you know? And that's kind of considered like the other side. So like where you're from is what you are. We're very similar to Chicago.
A lot of people from Chicago go up there.
Yeah, we are basically, we're sister city. They started busing in kids from the inner city into these predominantly white schools, and we would stick together, you know what I mean? And, you know, so for me, I guess I just got used to being treated like a nigger. So I'm a nigga. And I mean, we'd be saying that shit with our own sense of pride. You know what I'm saying?
You've said on phone now, and you've said, you know, you're from the area. So your colleague, friend, Aaron Carter, one of his latest tactics to, you know, I'm going to say attention grab. I don't know if that's what he's doing, but he's been claiming things. Like this interview couldn't have came at a better time.
Yeah.
He did a podcast and
so you got to fill me in because I don't watch out because, you know, I actually know the dude, so I don't be watching.
Right.
You know
Which
what I mean?
makes it.
I normally hear after the fact. You know what I mean?
And that's why I'm asking you because you know him. He's basically false claiming. And, you know, my GDs is here in Philly with me. I'm good.
Did he say what he was claiming?
Yes.
What did he say?
Oh, he said he's a GD. He said he's a gang disciple. Verbatim. I am quoting Aaron Carter.
A gang disciple. Like, first of all, what are you talking about? And who said what? If you're not from Chicago, Minneapolis, and if you are, then you're sanctioned. You aren't just GD because you said that shit.
That is
fact.
Shit.
Point
fact.
blank, period. Because if you weren't gang banging before 09, you were not banging colors. You were not doing none of that shit. You don't know the codes. You don't know the laws. You don't know
your history.
None of your shit. And you don't know your history. When the term GD is thrown out there so lightly, there's a lot behind that. Like for me, I'm 30 years old. I am not a gangbanger. This is growth and development over here. That's what we're on. I mean, there's this guy out here in the cities. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he's doing his thing. He's pretty popping on like IG and stuff with these skits and stuff. He does this big folks thing, Reef Array.
Yeah.
He funny as hell, man. Solid ass cat, but he a good example of, you know, an older gentleman on the content that's getting put out has a positive connotation to it. I also want to be very clear on something else here. I am not a spokesperson for the GDs. I am just a person. I do not have the authority, nor do I have the place to make somebody or say somebody is some shit if they're not that. So I don't want it to get fucked up around here where people think this is some little shit, you know what I mean? Because like by the time you say this is what it is what it is before you even had a chance to make that decision for yourself. That's a really sensitive
subject. And that's why I wanted you to touch on it. Aaron's, and this is just for me personally, Aaron's fan base, because I was never an Aaron Carter fan. They're not going to know any of this stuff.
They're not going to know. They're not going to know
anything Aaron says. It's kind of like a belief or, oh, Aaron's lying because we all hate Aaron Carter. They're not going to do the research because they don't give a fuck.
No, they're not going to look into it. It's deeper than that. It means something. It means, let's get back to the point. Like, I've never heard him say that.
GD for life. Hey, I said GD for life, bro, and they fucking put it in an article. GD for life, bro.
Hey, bro, let's go, bro. Let's go.
Hey, my GD for life, tell them.
Bro, for life, you know? Forever.
I'm already in the community.
For real, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, like, I'm going to make a bunch of shit for you, bro. We're working on this session right now. I'm going to start on that.
I talked to homie 2 days ago. He's like, what are you talking about, man? You know, I've got no gang affiliate. Like,
right.
I'm used to doing these things, and I've even done them. I've even sat with Aaron on TMZ in that pressure seat, like having to try to navigate some waters that are not fun to navigate.
Yeah.
I'm a rider for my friends, and that does not mean I condone every action. So I try to do the same thing like you know, where it's like I can speak on what I know, I'm going to disagree with what I disagree with, whether they like it or not. You put him on these shows and, you know, a lot of the ones that he's saying this stuff, you know, sprinkle some light shade on. Man, Adam 22 a hoe, you know what I'm saying? Like, he a whole bitch ass nigga. Like, you ain't part of the culture. You ain't been around shit, nigga. You ain't none of this. So the fact that you even think you have the clout to say the shit you're saying, like, somebody needs to smack the fuck out, bro. Because I saw him at LAX and tried to talk to him, and did a dash, like he couldn't get away fast enough. He a whole hoe. So it's like, but you're putting him in a position to perpetrate this. Like, there's got to be some responsibility.
Culture vulture. Adam is the fucking definition
but
of.
But he ain't the only one. He just happens to be the poster face. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. And it's like, that's the shit that really irritates me. Is really dying behind
currently still.
And whether it's, you know, and with the Aaron stuff, not so much, right? But with the rap shit for sure. But with the Aaron stuff too, it's like, bro, you're like, I mean, you have such a big platform. You are using it to fuel this bullshit. But you'll have the audacity to get on your same show the next day and say it's bullshit. But it's your bullshit. I'll be dead ass with you. If Adam 22 hit me up tomorrow and asked me to come on his show, I probably wouldn't. Like, I probably wouldn't. I don't give a fuck about, like, because your fan base ain't my people's. Like, if you think that shit lit, you're a goofy, period. You're on that bullshit. Like, same shit with academics. Like, that's a hoe ass nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to talk about what's wrong with this culture, you got to acknowledge the people that are in a position of power fueling it. I wish people would hold people like Adam and people like academics to the same standard that you see rappers hold Vlad to. Like, you're not like snitching, but like
making them incriminate themselves.
You're dumb as hell for doing the shit on the show any fucking way too. Let's be real.
It's totally disrespectful. This is all disrespect.
Most of these rappers today is disrespectful. So me looking at Aaron saying that, even Lil Pump to any of these, half these motherfucking rappers are not actual what they say they are.
No, my opinion, he got it from 6ix9ine. Because 6ix9ine was the biggest, you know, false claiming. He just references little stuff that, you know, 6ix9ine went through. Oh, if whatever they need, money, love, give it whatever they need. That's, you're being extorted. You're just paying to, you know, claim something. That's fine. He doesn't know that.
And I don't mind like saying it. Like, it would be wrong of me to sit here. Look, I got a 4-time platinum record, right? For example. Do you see that plaque on my wall right now?
No.
You don't. Aaron Carter. They're not the only shit I do. Like, they're there for a reason. That's my homie. It's love.
It's more personal.
Personally, with me, I've never seen none of that fuckery. You know, when these things come back to me, it's like this. It's like entertainment is a hell of a game. Like, it's a bitch. I've been in LA damn near 11 years, and the amount of like false claim and this, I'm that, I'm this, it's so overwhelming that it gets to a point where it's normalized. I don't think people really realize what they're saying. And even Aaron, like, I did not hear him say it. I take your word for it, of course. But if we were to talk, I'd be telling him like, hey, bro, that's the way he chooses to play. You dig? I don't agree with everything he does, but I don't agree with everything
anybody does.
If I see it and I don't like it, like, I'm gonna say it. And like with all my friends, like, and I expect the same from them. You know, me and Aaron have had many altercations because we really have had those me pull up like, what the fuck are you on right now? Like, if you're tripping, like, I care about you. I'm gonna tell you you're tripping, you know?
That's a lot to take in. One, from being a child star.
Yeah.
To two, whatever the fuck is in your life before you were a star, because people forget that you did have a life.
Had one.
Right, you had a life. Now you are living a third life after your peak.
Yeah.
Fourth life would now be social media.
Right.
How does one take on all of that?
I mean, and that's the thing. I don't know if anybody has an answer to that question, you know, and it's so interesting because it's like, we look at Aaron Carter, you know, and for better or for worse, there's a relevance to him right now for what he's doing. But look at like the people in his, let's say his wave, you know, his time, you know, the Jesse McCartneys and the, you know, the Lindsay Lohans, and look at their lives. The only difference between them and Aaron is they're staying the fuck out of the spotlight. They're either not heard of at all,
right,
period, or they're tripping.
Mhm.
That's it. Because that's what happens when you take a kid and
You make him a star.
And you make them a star. That's just what happens. Like,
you have a burnout in this industry. You're never going to be great forever.
You know what I mean? I don't say sympathy because sympathy's, that there's a lack of respect in sympathy. Like somebody can't stand for themselves. But I like to say, like, I have like empathy for it, if that makes sense. I try to understand because I didn't grow up that way,
Right.
And we've had arguments as friends because of that, where I'm like, bro, that's not how life works. You know what I'm saying? But we always get through that. And that's one thing I can say about it. There is a very human side to him also. I try to keep my bullshit off the internet as much as possible when I'm on my bullshit. Personal life, I've had him have to call me and other people have to call me. Bro, you're tripping. The difference is with him is it's just public. And it's like, as long as people keep watching it,
he's going to keep doing
it. I guess I have mixed feelings about that. I feel like, on one hand, I see the toxicity and the unhealthiness, but I don't blame that on Aaron. I blame that on this business. I blame that on the culture that eats it up and that made it, that's how I look at it. I mean, it's like I said, it's been so normalized. I think that takes away a lot away from what was really going on out here in a lot of these cities. And I mean, and I guess this is why I'd say it'd be wrong of me to sit here and even through the fuckery, because this business is built on fuckery.
Right.
Fuckery is what makes not you, but y'all. When I say to the people watching, that's what makes y'all happy.
Yeah.
If the fuckery didn't work, y'all would not be watching it. So until y'all want no fuckery, then stop trying to watch fuckery all the time, because they're going to give you what you want. That's what the business is for. And what you want is fuckery.
In the 2000s, just perfect example, Britney Spears. When I think back to it, everyone thought the shit was funny. Like it was a joke.
Isn't that crazy?
When you normalize stuff that nowadays people get killed for.
Yes.
I'm gay. I say it. I'm going to blurt that out just because I have to.
You have to.
Certain things, it wasn't normal.
Right.
You can't get mad at what the world was because that's what the world was.
Right. Aaron is an extremely experienced entertainer, and he's been in the game for forever. He's very aware of what he's doing when he does stuff. And that's the thing about Aaron. A lot of people have asked me, have you ever worried about Aaron and his, let's just say, antics, And I say no, because at the end of the day, like, if you don't understand what he's doing, then you're not really in the business.
Right.
You have no idea how the business works. He's a professional at this business. Like, he puts himself so far out there to a place that would make a normal person literally have like a nervous breakdown times 10 on a regular basis with no pressure. Like, he's not stressing none of this. Like, I talked to him 2 days ago. He's not like, none of this came up. We didn't talk about nothing. He's not thinking about none of this. Like, he doesn't give a shit. I'm saying this is normal for him. He's just doing business as usual. And it works, because last year TMZ was asking me why he was doing this. And the year before, ENT was asking me, why is he doing that? And next year, TMZ is going to ask me again. Last year, TMZ was asking me why he was doing this. And the year before, ENT was asking me, why is he doing that? And next year, TMZ is going to ask me again. There's a couple things I can be very clear on. One of them is, every time I've ever talked to him, said anything to him, and even if I didn't, Aaron don't have nothing in no way, shape, form to do with no gang. That's one. Number two is, I am not the spokesperson of the goddamn, nation. Number three, and most importantly, is we're sitting here talking about these ants, like that cliche saying in the industry, all press is good press.
Oh, fuck that.
There's a really ironic truth to that. It is a fuck that, but it's like, but fucking A,
When you hit viral, you get what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
They have a quicker burnout than a actual celebrity does.
It's the slow come up that lasts.
Yeah. This is what me personally, I can't get, just because I have a good understanding of what the industry was.
Right.
And getting their understanding of what the industry is today.
Right.
Is Aaron hurting his career? Even because people try to say he has no career. Obviously he does, because people are talking about him and watching him.
A hell of a career. Like, if he wants to tour right now, he could tour for a year straight. Like, and most of those shows are going to be to capacity. That's reality. Like, and any person who's been to an Aaron show will attest to that. I mean, I don't care what you say. Like, you could call him whatever you want, but one thing you cannot say is that this motherfucker cannot pack out a venue, because he does. Everywhere he goes, he pack them out. I've been on probably like damn near 40 shows plus with him. You know what I'm saying? And I have never been to a show that was whack. Not one. Not literally. Like I've seen them. I've seen a when I'm talking like when we're really kicked into gear and it's like, this is tour time, let's do this. It's going to be that, you know what I mean? Like, granted, there's always that one off of this and that. So when you're on tour with Aaron, even us being close friends, we kick it. But when we're doing that for the show, we're rehearsing. Like it's not a game. Like there's no, it's very serious. It's like,
what's the last tour you were on with him, by the way, just before you?
It's been 2 years ago now. I mean, with COVID and everything like that, I did a little run with him. We did I think it was just like a short little 2-month stint. We did around the Midwest, bunch of stuff around Chicago.
In like 2000 what?
It would probably have been like 18, end of 18.
Okay.
So we were doing like New York. We did some stuff out there. It was really dope. And some good shows, some really good shows. I think a lot of times it's like you said, people just forget that there is a person behind the person. And it's cool. I mean, to chop it up with you, it's cool because it's more real. There's an authenticity to it. You're a grown ass 40-something-year-old man.
Right.
Knowing the implications of this shit.
Right.
And he's getting called out for that, but you don't see that with these other guys because it hasn't come to that point yet. And so when I saw Aaron get on that show in the first place, I already knew that shit was bad. You know what I mean?
One? The 2019 or this recent one?
The first time and anytime.
Both.
From Jump Street, I was like, man, you know what I mean? Because like there ain't no real gonna come out of even if you was good, it's still not gonna be all that. You know what I mean? You'd have to be Lil Uzi Vert to come out there and be okay.
You need something to keep.
Exactly. Because these people just want they just want to get that little bump off trying to get you to fuck up. I look at what you do like you're a journalist, you know what I'm saying? Like of today. And I think journalists have an obligation to ask those hard questions like you're asking, but acknowledge both sides of it. And I think it's rare to see that, so shouts out to you, you know what I mean?
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Because whenever there's something genuine and authentic, like that's really important for this culture right now. It's so important. Like,
right.
And I'm almost say it's life. I look at what you do, like you're a journalist, you know what I'm saying? Like of today. And I think journalists have an obligation to ask those hard questions like you're asking, but acknowledge both sides of it. And I think it's rare to see that, so shouts out to you, you know what I mean?
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Because whenever there's something genuine and authentic, like that's really important for this culture right now. It's so important. Like,
right.
And I'm almost say it's life-saving work. And for better or for worse, there's a relevance to him right now.
Being a child star to whatever the fuck is in your life before you were a star, being a third life after your peak.
Yeah.
Fourth life, social media.
Right.
How does one take on all of that?
We look at Aaron Carter, but look at like the people in his time, the Jesse McCartneys, the Lindsay Lohans, and look at their lives. The only difference between them and Aaron is they're staying the fuck out of the spotlight. They're either not heard of at all or they're tripping. That's it. Because that's what happens when you take a kid and you make him a star. That's just what happens. And it's like, as long as people keep watching it,
he's going to keep doing
it. I guess I have mixed feelings about that. I feel like, on one hand, I see the toxicity and the unhealthiness, but I don't blame that on Aaron. I blame that on this business. I blame that on the culture that made it. We're sitting here talking about these ants, like that cliche saying in the industry, all press is good press.
Oh, fuck that.
There's a really ironic truth to that. It is a fuck that, but it's like, but fucking A, I've been told like this. There's different kinds of rappers. There's the rapper who's got 3 songs and does 1 million shows with the same 3 songs. Rapper who's got 1 million songs and does no shows. It's balance. Like I told you on the last interview, like people don't even know. Like Bieber was sleeping on a couch second to Asher Roth for years in Atlanta. I will be. It's weird to say. It's crazy.